Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another edition of Let's Argue, where I go on the internet, I take your hot takes, your unpopular opinions, your tough questions, I respond to the best ones in this segment. That is the point of this. Let's go! Joji has lost all of his experimental edge, seen on his older SoundCloud and Spotify tracks. Especially with his newest track, Sanctuary, it feels like we've lost the experimental Joji to some bland pop ordinary Joji. I don't disagree, honestly. I don't disagree. I do like his new single quite a bit, but in comparison with his older, more lo-fi work, it is blander, it is more agreeable, it is more by the numbers. I will argue, though, I don't think for George was it ever the point to be like a super experimental artist or anything. I think a lot of his lo-fi work sounded the way that it did because he was trying to do a lot with a little. And I think George is a pretty smart music listener and a pretty smart musician and knows if he's put in a position where he has to make something lo-fi, he has to make something that's out of the context of an expensive music studio and doesn't have sort of like the engineering expertise to do it, he can find creative aesthetic workarounds to make it appealing to an audience of people anyway. So again, at the end of the day, I think for George, he's always wanted to make pop music. He's always wanted to make music that appealed to a wide number of people. And I just think he's kind of continuing further down that road. Freddie Gibbs is a pretty mid-tier rapper, and his presence behind the mic is lacking. I mean, look, Freddie Gibbs, I think, is a very talented and a capable rapper. I will admit he may not have the biggest or the most husky voice like a Rick Ross or something like that. He may not have very many weird or eccentric qualities about his rap style, like an MF Doom or a Danny Brown. He doesn't come out there as wild with the inflections like an Eminem or a Kendrick Lamar. I see Freddie Gibbs as a very good all-arounder. To put it in Street Fighter terms, you know, he's not like a Blanca or a Dalsim or a Zangief or an E Honda. He's more like a Ryu. You know, he's more like a Ryu. He's more like a Ken. Nothing outwardly weird or eccentric about his play style, but if you're talented and you know the game and you understand what you're doing, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to kick ass with him or enjoy his music. SpongeBob was a three-dimensional character, so his pants have to be a cube or at least a right-angled parallelepiped. Doodlebob was flat, a two-dimensional character, so his pants were actually square. Doodlebob is the rightful owner of the square pants name. I can't handle how woke this is. It's such a woke take. Oh my god. Oh, it's the 7th level of woke. I don't know what I'm supposed to say in response to this. I guess I literally agree because his pants are technically cube, but obviously every panel of a cube is a square, so can we not understand that the square is like a subgenre of the cube? Cats are objectively the best pet. Cats are not objectively the best pet. I will agree, in a vast majority of cases, they are not as annoying as a dog. On the whole, cats are most likely a lot less dangerous than dogs as well. But I'm still more of a dog person. I love that dog attitude. I love that fun, spunky dog energy. I'm sorry, you just don't get that with a cat. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think it really just kind of comes down to your personality type. If you're more of a chill person, if you're more of a homebody, if you're more of a person who, you know, is maybe more on the introverted side, cats most likely like just kind of fit with your personality. Cats are most likely just like your aesthetic. If you're someone who likes your pet experience to be a bit more engaging, not so standoffish, not so, hey, you just kind of set it and forget it in the background and, you know, the cat kind of comes around when the cat kind of comes around. And listen, these are general opinions I have of the dog and cat experience. I have had dogs and cats around me all my life. I have had some cats that have actually, you know, had pretty bold personalities like dogs. I have had a dog that was actually kind of chill and laid back and wanted to just be left alone like a cat. Obviously, at the end of the day, every personality of a dog or a cat is different. But if I'm being forced here to make generalities, these are my opinions, and I'm more of a dog person. Coffee is shit. I can't entirely disagree with this one. I mostly see coffee as just like a scam, not only because I've seen numerous people in my own life just end up coming back again and again and again to that coffee well because they can't get off the stuff. But knowing the heavy amount of exploitation that goes into the production of coffee, how little many of the farmers who produce it are paid, and on top of it, how much that shit ends up getting watered down when you buy it from like a Dunkin' Donuts or a Tim Hortons or a wherever, it's kind of scammy. Not to say that coffee doesn't have a function or that there isn't good coffee out there or that, you know, you can put more of that process into your own hands by either buying fair trade or making your own coffee. But generally, yeah, I kind of see coffee as a scam. Horror punk as a genre deserves more credibility than it has. Sure, stuff like The Misfits is wildly hit or miss, and artists like the Murder Dolls / Wednesday 13 can be off-putting to outsiders, but the fun, campy aesthetic just adds to the fun. I agree, the Misfits are actually one of my favorite punk bands of all time, especially that early Glenn Danzig stuff. I love the horror movie references, I love the attitude, the songwriting is especially good during that era in the Misfits' career. However, I kind of have a hard time seeing the true future potential in horror punk. I feel like once you had the Misfits and those other classic groups around that time, exploring that sound, expressing the old school horror movie themes that they did in their lyrics, I'm not really sure where you truly go from there. It's a cool moment in punk history, but it's also super, super duper niche and very, very limited. The Johnny Depp remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory had better songs than the original due to each song in the remake having their own distinct style, whereas the original was just variations of lyrics in the same song. Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't disagree with that, with the songs having more variations in the Johnny Depp version, but every song in the Johnny Depp version was like an annoying hunk of shit. The songs are terrible, the songs are obnoxious, the vocals suck, and the visuals that accompany to all of them are like vomit-inducing. Maybe this is all because my opinion is that the Johnny Depp version of this movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and I absolutely hate almost everything about it. So maybe that is kind of poisoning my opinion here. I'll admit that, but still, I hate the music. I think it's trash. Cal needs to be on the next Old Town Road remix. Well, he is on there, dude. He is on there. I'm gonna push for that. Cal on Old Town Road. I got the horses in the back. Horses in the back, horses in the back, horses in the back. Music is like really fucked up if you think about it, man. I don't see what's so fucked up about music, man. I mean, I guess there's some weird things that I don't really like about the drama that surrounds music or the music industry, but just music on its own, in a vacuum, I don't think there's anything messed up about it. I think it's cool. Anderson .Paak makes straight garbage music. Maybe it's his voice or the fact that he looks like Bruno Mars tried the street life but couldn't quite make it. Look, me and Anderson .Paak are not on good terms right now, especially since on that Elliott Wilson interview, he said that the best teeth in the game tour idea came from the streets.
Best teeth in the game.
How you come up with that? Big long meeting, right?
The streets came up with that.
Excuse me? Where did it come from? Where? Excuse me? So I could easily just agree with you here and be mean-spirited, but I'm not. Anderson .Paak is a very talented man, great producer, multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, versatile singer. I will not be having any kind of Anderson .Paak music slander going on in my tweets, in my comments, none of that. You can make fun of the man's teeth all you want all day, okay, because mine are better. I do have better teeth than Anderson .Paak, and I didn't get no braces to get there either. I'm not faking the funk, okay? All natural, good, awesome, amazing teeth. There's teeth in the game. Don't accept any knockoffs, okay? The T-E-E-T-H, not T-E-F, okay? These are T-E-E-T-H, teeth. Best teeth is just off-brand, okay? That's what it is, it's off-brand. You actually have one of the least toxic comment sections of any large YouTube channel. Yeah, there are most likely a lot of right-wing political channels on YouTube that have some pretty disgusting comment sections. Maybe some gaming channels, some meme channels, but I don't know. I've had someone who I know at Google, after I've asked them, talking about, oh, I'm worried about my comment section, is it bad, is it terrible? And they mostly told me that it's not really anything to worry about. It's annoying, it's full of trolls, but it's more like a benign tumor. And again, this coming from somebody who actually works at Google, so you know, I suppose it's bearable. What job would you have right now if you've never thought of starting a YouTube career? I would most likely be in radio, in journalism, or in accounting. One of those three. And those are my answers and responses to these questions and hot takes and all that stuff, all that jazz, everyone, all that jazz. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano. Music, music, music. Let's argue forever.